Welcome to 2K Sports in the NBA. I'm your host, Damon Bruce. Thursday Hoops. It's going to be the Dallas Mavericks up against Kyle Lowry and the Houston Rockets. And now things about to get going. Let's turn to Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who've got the call in Houston.
Yeah, how y'all feel? Cause I feel so awesome. How you feel? Awesome. I guess that's awesome. You fine and your awesome. Wanna roll? Awesome. Let's go. Yeah, hands in the skyline. AWE. Some call me awesome. Some call me busy. Call me awesome. Gator on my shirt.
Welcome everyone to the NBA live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And our sideline reporter is Doris Burke. It's a great day in Houston. We've got a great crowd assembled here to watch their Rockets. Here are the starters for Dallas, brought to you by State Farm. Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler in the middle. Jason Kidd is out there with Rudy Fernandez. And it's Butler in at the threesome. And for the Rockets, Chase Budinger and Luis Scola are the forwards. Lowry and Martin manning the backcourt. And it's Hayes in at the five.
Guys, as usual, the Southwest Division was full of talent. I mean, loaded. It can be hard just to stay afloat in that division, but the Mavs did a really good job of doing just that.
And it's the Mavericks to start out. And here is Kidd. There's the double team with Martin. And they double up Kidd. Fernandez dishes to Butler. Over Budinger. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Fernandez. Back to the Mavs for just a second. Steve, 8-8 in their division and finished second overall.
Well, it's not a great record, but don't forget, the Southwest Division, probably the toughest in the NBA.
Now here is Lowry. He's picked up by Kidd. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and two shots coming up.
Lowry, the Villanova product, a lot of people didn't think he could be a starting point guard in the NBA because he's not the most efficient shooter, but he's very careful with the basketball. Very efficient, takes care of it, and makes sure his teammates get good looks out there.
And the first one drops. And what Steve just said about Lowry, that's very important to a coach. Clark, that efficiency that you brought up. Nice to have a point guard that will not turn the ball over.
Yeah, you need a guy that'll squeeze that orange, because if you want orange juice, you got to squeeze it. In 35 minutes a game, just about 2 turnovers with 8 assists. That's a good number.
Huge numbers, you're right.
You know, guys, after 4 seasons with Coach Adelman at the helm, the Rockets front brass decided to go in a new direction this offseason. A little bit surprising because of Rick Adelman's respect and success around the league. A bold move for a franchise, not afraid to think differently. I think Adelman did a great job helping that team overachieve, though.
Now let's send it over to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Kevin McHale.
Yes, Kevin, he told me that they're facing the type of team that is one of the best at forcing opponents into defensive mistakes. He said, quote, "Physical errors are forgivable, but any mental lapse today is inexcusable. We have to be the smarter team out there." Kevin?
Very good, Doris. Thanks. Clark, you think they'll be able to make that strategy work for them?
Well, we'll see, Kevin. I mean, holding opponent shooting percentage down comes down to trust in your defensive scheme and then making the effort to challenge every shot.
That's
Steve,
right.
what do you think?
Well, yeah, trust is a key word that Clark just mentioned, and I think the aggressiveness, you know, the ability to close out on shooters, make your rotations, but really challenge those shooters. That's going to be key.
Just 4 to shoot. And that one's good. And Steve, you know, Adelman wasn't in favor of the new direction that the front office wanted to go with the Rockets.
Well, that disagreement had to be a big reason they parted ways, because the front office was not very specific about exactly what they wanted to do. But I guess we'll find out soon enough here in the years to come.
And that one's good.
4 straight makes out of the gate. That's a sweet start.
There's the feed to Scola. Dishes it to Hayes. Now Lowry. Martin from outside. Dirk Nowitzki with the rebound.
You know, you look at the stops in Carlisle's coaching career, guys. I mean, almost every year he's good for 50-plus wins, no matter who he's coaching, but never able to get the team all the way to the top until last season. You can't help but be happy for him.
Here's Lowry after Dirk Nowitzki's bucket. Outside Lowry. Budinger passes to Scola. Budinger sinks the three-pointer. Budinger's got 5 now.
Well, back to Rick Carlisle for a moment. You know, it's funny because he had trouble finishing off strong seasons just like the Mavs, but they were able to accomplish their goals when they got together and brought home the title to Dallas.
Now here's Nowitzki. And here's the fast break. Now here is Lowry. Scola backing down. From in close. And Houston again with the bucket. Here is Kidd. There's 1:17 left in the first quarter of the game.
You know, Scola came to the Rockets a few years back from the Spurs. To think he could have been on that roster, man, that's really scary, boy.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. You said it, Clark, about Scola coming up for the Rockets. Steve, you have to think that the Spurs regret that one just a bit.
Yeah, I know the Spurs regret that one. But sometimes, you know, you make moves in this league with salary cap implications in mind. That was what that deal was all about. But unfortunately, sometimes they come back to haunt you a little bit.
Jordan Hill, he's checked in for the Rockets. Patterson comes in for Luis Scola. Sean Marion is checked in for the Mavericks. Terry comes in for Rudy Fernandez. Here's Kidd. Patterson against Nowitzki. Outside Kidd, just 5 on the clock. Here's Terry, good in the assist to Kidd.
I tell you what, right now that mid-range jumper serving them well.
Yes, it is, guys. That's 6 of their last 10 points coming from that mid-range area.
Well, the grimace of pain tells it all. He's hurt, and let's hope he's okay.
Boy, what a tough break. I hope he doesn't have to miss too much of the action.
Well, we'll find out in a little bit. Man, let's just hope he's okay.
J.J. Barea is checked in for the Mavericks. Rockets trail. Lowry with the ball. He dishes it to Budinger. For 3. The shots get on the assist by Lowry. Budinger's got 8 points. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
I think both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
Taken away by Kidd.
Anticipating that pass so well. Beautifully done.
Nowitzki for 3. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Lowry kicks to Martin. The 3 ball. And another 3 for Houston.
Excellent teamwork to set up that hoop, Kevin. A sweet dime there.
And here's Kidd from the arc. And that one's good. Kidd's got 6.
And he come right back with the triple.
An eye for an eye. How about a 3 for a 3, Steve?
It's a tie game here in Houston. And we'll get back to the action right after this. And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. Here's Dragic.
I like what the Rockets have done with their roster. They've got a lot of talent, but in a league where superstars really put you over the top, that's one thing Houston has not been able to accomplish, finding a star player.
Lee out there with Dragic. Then there's Patrick Patterson. And it's Hayes. And it's Martin in at the 3, the small forward. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. And the shot is good. At the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Rockets. Steve is a GM formerly in this NBA with Phoenix. You know all about that, trying to get other players to come to your team. And last season, the Rockets certainly were in the mix for Carmelo Anthony. They've thrown their hat in the ring, Clark, trying to get some star players down there.
Yeah, they have, but, the right deal just didn't seem to present itself. They've said now they'll try to build around the pieces they have. But with that minutes crunch, no surprise to see them keep trying to land that big-time start.
Here's Dragic. He's picked up by Kidd. Tipped. And Hayes kicks to Dragic. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Another open look, hits bottom from outside.
Yep, and that's 3 of their last 5 makes from beyond the arc.
A moment for our Gatorade injury report. Let's find out the news on Jason Terry with our Doris Burke.
Guys, I was able to catch up with the Mavericks head athletic trainer, Casey Smith. He said that it is a strain of his lower back, and any movement is challenging for him right now. He is officially through for this night and possibly a long time to come. We'll wait and see.
Thanks, Doris. Guys, the only thing you can wish for is that the prognosis isn't quite as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. I don't know, though. I mean, one way or another, it seems to me as though it's going to be a long time before we see him back in uniform.
Yeah, such a shame, guys. You always hate to hear of any player getting injured, and this does not sound good.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Kevin, Karan Butler started a program in the summer called Bike Brigade, where he helped provide bikes to 2,500 children and encourage them to get out and exercise. He's pretty passionate about cycling, doing it in the off-season to stay in shape. He said, quote, "I've done some mountain biking trails in Virginia near where I live, but I prefer the road to get my cardio on. I'm good on the hills. I can see the championship trophy at the top of every one of them." He said he doesn't do stationary bikes, though, adding, "It's outdoors or nothing for me. Pat Riley had me ride on stationary bikes all the time when I was a rookie in Miami, and it's bad memories, man." Guys?
Still traumatized. Thanks, Doris.
Yeah, Riley's conditioning regimen, really legendary, and he's really put his players through it over the years.
Dallas calls timeout.
Dallas really played a lot of zone defense last year, and I thought it worked out well for them, especially with the personnel they brought in. Tyson Chandler manning the paint really helped that club.
For the Rockets, Luis Scola. He's checked in for Patterson. Budinger checks in for Kevin Martin. And it's Lowry in for Goran Dragic. Then for the Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki. He's checked in for Butler. Fernandez comes in for J.J. Barea. And it's Bobois in for Jason Kidd. Here's Bobois. He feeds it to Fernandez. Lowry picks him up. 5 on the clock. Over Lee. Bobois, that's good. Bobois got his first bucket in this one. Steve, back to Dallas. Sometimes a team needs to find an identity on defense, and they found that last year with the zone. That was a little clever trick, Clark Kellogg, that Rick Carlisle, the coach of the Mavs, inserted in that team.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the zone, it fit their personnel. You can't overlook the impact that Tyson Chandler has had on their defensive disposition. They have guys that have length that can cause problems in the passing lane. So the zone defense just made some sense.
Here's Budinger, and another 3 for Houston.
Yeah, he answers right back with a 3 of his own.
Well, you can see it. They're getting into it a bit. A little mano-mano here. One-upsmanship taking place.
Now here's Nowitzki. Luis Scola covering. Over Scola, and another basket for Dallas.
Both these teams really fighting hard here. This is an impressive matchup.
Yeah, not much separation able to be created either way, and I really marvel at the effort being expended by both of these teams.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
Fellas, it's no secret that Dallas isn't afraid to spend or go into the luxury tax, but in their march to get better, they haven't been very careful with the contracts they've given out.
For the Rockets, Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Hayes. And it's Dragic in for Courtney Lee. Dallas also making some changes. Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Haywood. Butler comes in for Sean Marion. And Barea subbed in for Roddy Beaubois. Here is Lowry. Now here's Budinger. He's guarded closely. And the basket good. Budinger's got 13. The Mavericks trailer. And here's Barea. Nowitzki outside. Scola covering. Takes it right up. Chandler. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dirk Nowitzki. Chandler's got his second basket. Now Dragic. There's the dish to Lowry. Guarded by Barea. 6 to shoot. With the fadeaway. And Lowry gets it to go. And the Rockets lead by 1. Now Barea. Over score. Good!
That builds a little momentum going into the next quarter.
Yeah, you know, you definitely have to make sure you take advantage of that last possession. You don't want to squander that.
And we'll be back live from Houston.
Welcome to the HB Halftime Report. I'm Damon Bruce, and we got a close contest going on out in Houston. For the Dallas Mavericks, they have the lead against Houston. They've kept the defense off balance with their great passing attack. A nice start for Caron Butler. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? And it's also been a strong start for the Rockets. The three-point shooting? Ridiculous. They're knocking down everything. Chase Budinger has been locked in so far. He's been finding great looks for himself. His shooting percentage is about as good as it gets. Some very impressive basketball being played by these two in today's game. They'll want to keep it going in the second. And that's it for us here at 2K Sports Studios. Hope to see you back next time.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Here's Lowry. Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler in the middle. Rudy Fernandez out there with Jason Kidd. And it's Butler in at the small forward. Chandler comes with the double team. Again, the Rockets score.
Well, the Rockets really improving offensively. In fact, last season they were number 6 in the entire NBA in offensive efficiency. That's up from 18th the season before.
Now here's Kidd. Fernandez dishes to Butler. Over Budinger. And that one's good by Butler. Butler's got 10 points. And Clark and Steve, as we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, these teams just simply keep trading baskets, and as a result, trading the lead.
Yeah, neither side really able to create much of a cushion at all. So which team can make a little run here? We'll see.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Dallas Mavericks had more than just the support of the immediate Dallas area in the NBA Finals. A Cavs for Mavs campaign started up with all the Cleveland fans cheering for the Mavericks to win. As the Heat became the villains of the NBA, though, the Mavs have a lot more than just Cleveland cheering for them last June. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. A lot of people jumped on that Mavs bandwagon last postseason.
You know, beyond the Cleveland thing, I mean, I think the Mavs were a team that was just an easy squad to root for last season with Dirk and Jason Kidd vying for their first rings, and they were fun to watch, too.
Dallas calls timeout.
He's been locked in from deep. They're giving him too much breathing room and definitely paying the price for it.
Sean Marion. He's checked in for Dallas. Berea comes in for Rudy Fernandez. Here is Kidd. He's got 6. Berea, the pass to Kidd. There's the pass to Nowitzki. Luis Scola covering. Nowitzki kicks to Berea. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Budinger. And it's Dallas with another.
3 for 3. You got to like this hot start in the third quarter.
You figured it was just a matter of time before Mikal found his way back to his sideline. I mean, he just has too much love for the game and wanted to be in the middle of the action, so he couldn't stay away too long. Second half is flowing nicely so far on offense. 75% from the field is what they're shooting.
Scola against Nowitzki, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. They get Luis Scola.
Well, getting back to Mikal, it'd be very interesting to see what he can do, as this will be the first time out of the Timberwolves franchise. So a second opportunity for Mikal. And I think his strength is actually coaching. I think that's what he's best at. So this could be a very good fit for him and for Houston. And you wonder how important Dirk Nowitzki is to the Mavs. Well, last season they were humming along, had one of the best records in the NBA. And then Dirk had a knee injury, kept him out of 9 games. Dallas went 2-7 without him. So this is a team that really revolves completely around Dirk Nowitzki.
We talked about the Mavs without Dirk. The huge gap in their winning percentage speaks for itself. What, with 55 and 18 with him in the lineup.
You know, Kevin, as great a mark as that is for Dirk, it kind of also points out just how dependent the Mavs are on him. I mean, he is their franchise guy. If he goes down, the team really struggles.
Mavericks leading by 3. And stolen by Scola. For the finish. Takes it up. And there's Martin. That's good on the assist by Scola. Scola's got 3 assists in the game. Here's Dallas. They lead by 1.
Well, the Rockets just barely missed out on making the playoffs a year ago, but they were tough on their home court. They went 25-16 in Houston.
Here is Berea. And it's Martin picking him up. Shot clock at 6. It's blocked. It's been a little while since they've been in the lead.
And Kevin, that's exactly why this is an important possession for them.
Here's Budinger. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got 6 assists in the game. Well, Steve, talking about this Houston front office, very forward-thinking. They've got some smart people in there crunching the numbers. Now, a lot of teams are kind of following that same pursuit.
Well, you know, there are no bigger copycats in the world than those in sports, coaches or presidents or general managers. And that does seem to be the trend around the league. I mean, every team looking for an edge, trying to find the right players, right strategy, and measuring success almost on a play-by-play basis. And the Rockets somewhat at the forefront of that kind of movement. And you know what? I think there's some merit to it. I don't want to go overboard with it. You still need the software, if you will. The numbers are the hardware, but the software is the people that can make some of those decisions. And if you got a good blend of both, you can be successful.
That's a nice answer. Nowitzki, that's for 2. It's good. Great play set up by Berea. That's 12 points for Nowitzki. Feeds it to Scola, over Chandler, and Scola with the basket on the assist by Lowry. Scola's got 4 this quarter. It could go. Kidd. And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. Chase Budinger having a dominant impact in this game.
Yeah, give him credit. He's been very selective with his shots, and it's paying off for him and his team.
You know, through the first 3 quarters, Steve, he's taken exactly what the defense has given him, and he's not forced anything. I mean, that's poise that is very impressive, and that's exactly how you should play the game, in my opinion.
Rockets lead by 2. And now let's send it to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. The spark in this game, the big push by the Rockets. Things fell for them in a big way in the third quarter, and that's when they took control of this basketball game. We'll see if they can keep things going their way to end this thing.
Thank you, Doris. They made a statement with that big run, Clark.
They sure did. I mean, actually, this team has what I like to call spurtability.
Clark, that's becoming one of our trademarks right there.
Without question.
We're all over it.
One of the great basketball words out there.
And Clark, I think the defense was sort of shell-shocked by that spurtability. They were reeling.
All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. Taking a look at the Rockets, we've got Lee, Scola out there with Hayes. Then there's Lowry, and it's Dragic in at the two-guard spot.
What a great game. This looks like it's going to go right down to the wire.
Well, you talk about what happens in close games. Mistakes are magnified. Both teams have to be very careful down the stretch here.
Now here's Chandler. Shot denied. Now here's Bobois. An easy 2 points on the layup. And it's a 3-point Maverick lead.
He's put on an offensive clinic. They've got to deny him the ball.
Yeah, and if that fails, then double him, Steve. I mean, they can't allow him to continue to hurt him like this.
So here's Scola. Outside Lowry. Back to Scola. 6 on the shot clock. Yes! And the foul. It's on Tyson Chandler.
Boy, poor defense at both ends. It kind of reminds me of your teams, Clark.
Well, not exactly. We did give a little better effort. I mean, neither squad really digging in at that end. At least we tried to play defense.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Budinger checks in for Goran Dragic. And Johnny Flynn is subbed in for Kyle Lowry. The free throw drops for Scola.
And in this Texas rivalry last year between the Mavericks and the Rockets, Dallas had the advantage. They lost the first meeting, but won the next 3 to take the season series 3-1.
Now here's Butler. Takes it up. Haywood with the ball. Back to Butler. Over Lee. It's Butler that time on the assist by Haywood. And that's 15 points for Butler. Steve, those games you mentioned between Houston and Dallas, those have a lot of impact, Clark, in that division as well.
I agree, Kevin. I mean, Houston ended up being the only team in the Southwest not to make the playoffs. And part of that was Dallas not giving them any ground in the games when they met each other.
You're right. And here is Flynn. Here is Budinger. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
For the Rockets, Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Scola. Martin comes in for Chase Budinger. And it's Lowry in for Johnny Flynn. And then for Dallas, Tyson Chandler is checked in for Haywood. Brewer comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Barea subbed in for Jason Kidd. Barea kicks to Mary. Kicks it to Barea. Knocked loose and stolen by Kyle Lowry.
He had a really good first half, guys, but since that time, he's struggling to take care of the ball. Now, that should be a rule. No layups. Protect the paint. Make them earn every point.
Yeah, I think that's just tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth basketball. Make your opponent earn their points from the line. Don't give up any layups.
Now the free throw is good. Now leading by 1. That one misses.
Well, he certainly can't be happy leaving points at the line, but at least he got them the lead.
Now Barea. He's picked up by Lee. It's off his foot, and it's being called a kickball. Houston making some changes. Scola comes in for Patrick Patterson, and it's Budinger in for Courtney Lee. And then for Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Marion. Fernandez comes in for Corey Brewer. And Jason Kidd has subbed in for J.J. Barea. Dallas calls timeout. They're down by 1. There's 1:54 left to play here in the fourth. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Rick Carlisle was going over with his team in that last huddle. He tried to keep things pretty light, actually, saying, this is when it gets fun, guys. If you're not enjoying this, then you don't love the game. Now go out there and finish these guys off. Gentlemen?
Now here's Kidd. Nowitzki outside. Over Scoa. That's good for Nowitzki on the assist by Kidd. Kidd's got 4 assists in the game. Timeout called the Rockets. They trail by 1. 1:46 left in the fourth quarter. Rudy Fernandez has jumped in for J.J. Barea. .146 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Left side, Martin. Left side, Martin. Martin with a screen on Kidd. Scoa backing down. Shot clock at 5. Over Nowitzki. And the basket by Scoa. Scoa's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Yeah, they are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot. What a marvelous job they've done of sharing the basketball. A ton of assists.
Well, they know where each other is all the time. They're moving the ball, just finding the open guy. Nobody seems to care who scores.
Now here's Scoa. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Finally getting into rhythm here in the game after that cold first half.
Less than 1 minute left. Nowitzki against Scoa. Releases from 15. Buries it.
Boy, he's been so dependable here this game. Really playing well offensively.
Now here is Lowry. Scoa backing down. Count it. He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
What a huge shot.
That's what happens when you knock it down late.
Scoa against Nowitzki. Outside Kidd. Shoots a fader. That's good from Nowitzki on the assist by Kidd. And the Mavericks lead by 2. Timeout called the Rockets. They're losing by 2. We've got 28 seconds left in the game. The Mavericks making a switch here. Barea's checked in. Here's Lowry. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. He's picked up by Kidd. Clock at 6. Here's Hayes. Misses the tray. And now they decide to foul intentionally. And the Mavericks call time here. So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
You know, nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight ones.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Dirk Nowitzki.